Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
Hello, and here we go again. It is time for yet another Morning Mindset podcast, and I want to take a moment right now to thank all of you out there in the Morning Mindset listening audience. That's right. Every one of you who has written us a letter or a letter, well, you know what I mean. No one actually sends paper letters anymore, but an email or to the Facebook page or what have you, thanking us, acknowledging us, telling us that you're listening. I truly appreciate that. Sometimes when I'm sitting here alone in my studio, because yes, I am alone in the studio, talking into the microphone, I wonder, is anyone out there actually listening? I hope that there are people listening, and I assume that there are other people listening. But when you're in the studio, you're all by yourself talking into the black carbon steel microphone, you don't know. So for those of you that have reached back to us to say, yes, I have been listening and I have been paying attention, thank you. Thank you very much. And for those of you who have left a review on your favorite podcast application, whether it's iTunes or whatever, or iHeartRadio. I just realized recently, iHeartRadio is a little bit different than iTunes and some of the others. You have to have you have to have X number of episodes in the can and pre-produced before iHeartRadio will accept you, and you have to have been running for so long. It's a certain amount of time before iHeartRadio picks you up. So if you're listening on iHeartRadio, thank you very much, and I hope that you will leave a review to let those folks know, well, wherever it is, iTunes or Stitcher, Podcast Gallery, there's 1,000 podcast players. But leave a review and let those people know that you're paying attention and you're listening, because it does matter. iTunes pays very close attention to recent and 5-star reviews. Same thing with iHeartRadio. And you may not know this, and I know I'm going a little long with just the talky talk, but that's okay. But when it comes to internal promotion, Amazon is the same way. In order for Amazon to promote a book internally to their other customers, it has to have a minimum of 5-star reviews. Until a book has at least 5-star reviews that have been guaranteed or verified or whatever, they won't promote it internally. That's why, when people do these podcasts and write books, that's why they reach out to you and they say, hello, if you liked the product, please let other people know. Because that is the only way that because I don't talk to people at Amazon on a daily basis. I don't talk to people at iTunes or, Stitcher, Podcast Republic, or iHeartRadio. I don't have conversations with them. The only way that they know that this is a valuable product and that they should promote it to other people is based upon your reviews. So it does matter. All right. It's the holiday season. And what do most people, or the majority of people, do during the holidays? Many of you have family and friends over to your house, right? For visits and dinners and thises and that's. And what does that mean? Well, generally it means that you do house cleaning, but you do more than you normally do. I mean, most people sweep the kitchen floor and they vacuum and they take out the trash and stuff like that. But when you have friends coming over or relatives coming over, that's when you do the things that you don't do all the time. That's when you dust the heat vents. That's when you pull up the rug in the entryway and you mop the entryway floor and you dust the banisters or the railings or what have you. And we're no different. So recently we did the top to bottom thorough, detailed cleaning because we anticipated people coming on over. And like most people, we have a 2-story home. And when you enter the front of the house, you have to go up some stairs to get to the main kitchen, living room area, which means that you go upstairs. There's a banister, a handrail. There's a handrail there. And the handrail, it's painted white like the wall. It's the same color as the wall. And what do we all know about white handrails? Well, white handrails get dirty because people put their dirty paws on them all the time. And so I had the task of scrubbing the handrail. And I did it. And what I realized after I cleaned it thoroughly top to bottom was that even though it was clean, a lot of the paint had started to rub off on the edges, on the ends, the tops and the bottoms, and in certain places in the middle, it had started to rub off. And so what do I need to do now? Well, I realized now I have to actually go through the process of taking the handrail off the wall, unscrewing it all, and I'm going to take it out in the garage and I'm going to repaint it. Because the cleaning is no longer going to cut it. Just cleaning it. Now, often when you clean things, like for instance, you clean the toilets or your bathrooms or whatever, and after a fresh cleaning, it looks, oh, wow, it looks great. It looks brand new. But with something like a handrail or what have you, eventually you have to break down and you have to put on a fresh coat of paint. Just touching it up, just cleaning it, just wiping it down isn't going to do it anymore. It's not going to cut it. You're going to have to go the extra mile. You're going to have to put in the extra effort and apply a fresh coat of paint. Now, when you do, how many times have you done that? How many times have you said, well, it's time to paint the porch railings, or it's time to paint the fence, or it's time to paint the trim on the house, or what have you, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, and you have to go through all the rigmarole of the putting down the tarps and the taping things off and what have you. But then once you've done it, when it's over with and you take away the tape and the tarps and the paper and what have you, and you examine what you've done, you think, wow, looks like new, right? Looks brand new. It's like a new thing, a new whatever, new house, new porch, new this, whatever. We can apply that same exact thing to our own lives. Every once in a while, we examine ourselves, we examine our lives, we look in the mirror, and we realize that we have to do a little bit of something extra. If you want to feel new again, reinvigorated, how many times have you found yourself, whether it's in a work position or just in life in general, that it's kind of dull? That you're not excited, you're not invigorated. Your life doesn't seem new or fresh anymore. And how can we bring that excitement, that freshness, that newness, a little bit more back into our lives? Put a fresh coat of paint on your life. Now, women are really good at this. When women are feeling this way, what do? And when women are feeling, that they need something new or invigorated or what have you, what do? They go and they get a brand new haircut, right? They go and they get a brand new haircut, or they get new clothes or new shoes or a new coat or a new something or other. They go and they do that. And that's like putting a new coat of paint on their lives. It makes it a change. It's an improvement. Men, not so much. Men, we really get stuck in our ways, don't we? Yeah, we do. I do. I don't know about you, but I do. We really get stuck in our ways. And often men, because we're male animals, we put our heads down and we just press. We're like a bull in a corral, and we just put our heads down and we push against the fence. And it doesn't give, but we keep pushing and pushing and pushing, hoping that eventually it'll give. And it doesn't, but we just do it because we're men. How can you put a new coat of paint on your life, men? Now, men, I'm not telling you that you have to go to the hair salon and get a brand new haircut, because it's probably not going to happen. I haven't had a new haircut in 40 years. Well, okay, 35 years. Maybe a little bit less than that, but 30 years at least I've had the same haircut, and I'm not going to get a new haircut now. But what can you do? What can you do to put a fresh coat of paint on your life? Well, you could explore a new skill. Is there something you've always wanted to do, but you talked yourself out of it? You're like, well, I always wanted to learn how to blank, fill in the blank, whatever. Play the guitar, play the piano. I always wanted to learn how to snow ski, water ski. I mean, just I don't know who you are. Fill in the blank. But for whatever reason, you always put it off and you made an excuse. You're like, well, I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I'm too busy, or what have you. Maybe now's the time. Maybe now is the time to decide, you know what? I'm all done waiting. I'm all done making excuses. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try this new thing, whatever it happens to be. So every once in a while, you have to take the time out and put on some new paint and make things fresh again. Dave Thomas knew it. And those of you who read Dave's Way by Dave Thomas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. Thank you once again for being a part of the Morning Mindset audience. I am your host, Paul Markle. I'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.